What's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review, and today I'm reviewing another movie from 2006 called Let's Go to Prison. Just like Idiocracy, it's a comedy starring Dax Shepard and somebody I recognize but don't know the name of. I don't know. Comment down below. If you've seen the movie, comment down below. Tell me his name. Because I know who the actor is, but I don't. I know what he looks like. I've recognized him. He's pretty popular, or at least was popular. But I do not know the name off the top of my head. But let's get down into the review. As I said, it's a comedy. Basically, this guy who's been going to prison a lot, he wants to get revenge on this judge. The judge died. His son took over the inheritance, and he runs the foundation. Ends up, criminal guy sabotages the other guy. Was like a politician now, I guess. Or judge's son. And then, so look at it. Judge's son freaks out, robs a pharmacy, goes to jail for it, and the other guy ends up purposely going to jail so that they can meet together and live in the same jail cell. And then pretty much the rest of the movie takes place in prison, where gags happen. We meet a lot of characters in there and stuff like that. And this, it's like I said, this movie is supposed to be a comedy, but unlike Idiocracy, I think the points hit better where the comedy is where they're trying to land the comedy, because there's actually more of a story plot for them to work along with and go with, instead of just throwing in random jokes mixed in with some sort of plot, sort of thing. There's more of a cohesive story to work through, and that's why I think this movie is a very much better made movie. Now, now I can't say there was definitely some weirder portions of the movie. I gotta say, it kind of reminded me when we watched The Fly, except it wasn't so horror-esque. But I think it did a really good job of depicting what life is like in prison. I think. I've never been to jail. I hope to never go to jail. However, if that's what it's like, then I think the movie did a good job of portraying that with the, interacting with the other people and living in the cell and that kind of stuff, and like the gangs that are in there and everything. I mean, did a good job of portraying that. And maybe like the corruptness of like some of the guards being in on some of the drug rings or whatever to get cigarettes or money, and then holding a fight at the end or whatever, and all that kind of weird stuff. So I think they did a good job of that. The acting was also really good, I thought. Dax Shepard did really good. The Barry guy I can't say I came to like the Barry guy, but played a bigger role than I thought he would, that's for sure. So there you go. I mean, that was a really weird relationship that I did not think would actually grow into something that it did. But it's prison. It's a comedy movie from 2006. You gotta roll with it, and I think they tied it all together really well in the end. I really liked how the movie ended with all of them just getting along and working together and everybody loving each other and stuff like that. There was no divide or want to go back to prison or anything like that, because the movie's literally called "Let's Go to Prison. It'll be fun, yeah," or something like that. The acting was really good though. I enjoyed that. The narration was a little weird. I gotta say there was a little bit of narration. I forgot to mention in Idiocracy there was a lot of narration because they're telling a story along with the movie. Here though, it was just a little bit at the beginning. That's what I really enjoyed that. But that was a good portion of it. A lot of the characters I recognized in this movie, and there was no women, which was weird. I guess so because they keep the divided, but whatever. But again, like I said, very good portrayal of being in prison, I would say. There's a lot of plot twists too. They threw in there was a lot of curveballs thrown at us in this movie. Like the guy going to jail again purposely, or him being correct about the undercover cops, or him being throwing him under the bus, and the other guy throwing him under the bus, and then the And then especially at the end of the movie, when they were in that big brawl at the end of the movie, the two guys, and they both injected each other with what was supposed to be a deadly drug, and they die, get buried, somehow do not die under there, like, because they weren't actually dead, but we didn't know that. They dug up by Barry. Barry saves them both. They survive. They go live, and then they show back how it happened. And you know what? Usually it wouldn't make sense. Like, usually you could watch it back and say, like, oh, how did they get to this point? Like, how does this cut perfectly leaving out what happened with like, no real good transitions in between? But this movie, I think, did a really good job because they were short, subliminal little cuts to help that really helped drive along the plot. Or not help drive along the plot, but made sure that they connected it from point A, where we last saw them before the cut, to point B when we see them again. They get cut beforehand. Really good job with that, I thought. Which was really fun. And so then they do that really well. And jump on that portion. And then they did the wine thing, and there was that was really there were some some of the interaction scenes were very cringe. I will say that. And they were kind of just out there. Again, the plot twist thing. There's a lot of different directions this movie goes. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No, it's not. I thought it was played on somewhat well. I mean, it's not the greatest thing to do, but it's what happens in 2006 in a prison movie. So my final score about this movie, I'm gonna have to give it a good 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I think is a good rating for me. A 6 or 7, I'd say. I would definitely recommend watching it if you've got the time and the motivation. But are you going to enjoy it? Maybe. If you're into these kind of movies. It's really, again, like Idiocracy and like literally every movie, up to your preference of what style or genre you like. But I think you'll enjoy it if you give it a watch. That's going to do it for this movie review, though. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.